Hey guys, welcome to another draft video. I'm Marshall. You know me. I'm from Limited Resources and whatever else coverage stuff, and we're doing drafting. So let's see what we got in this opening pack. Not particularly exciting pack. There's a few decent cards though. There's a Biovisionary, which isn't actually that good. Looks sweet because it's a rare, and it's even in Simic, which is, you know, as we learned last week, the deck that I'd like to be in the most. Unfortunately, it's basically just a 2/3. There's a few ways you can go off with it, but they're hard to do. There's a Cinder Elemental, which is fine. I think the best card here is probably Wojak Halberdiers. Really potent package, great for that type of strategy, that Boros strategy. There's also a Devour Flesh, which is something that I would look at here too. I think I'm just going to take the Wojak Halberdiers. I'm just basically taking it because I think it's the best card in the pack. You know, it's tempting sometimes to overthink things, but I really do just think it's just the best card, so I'm going to take it. All right, this next one's interesting. This is really interesting. So there's a Simic Guildmage, which, well, I'm certainly interested since my eye is skewed a bit towards Simic right now. There's also a Kingpin's Pet and an Ember Beast. Angelic Edict, Massive Raid are two decent cards, but I think the best card in the pack might be Kingpin's Pet. Either that or probably Kingpin's Pet's the best card in this pack. I like Simic Guildmage. It's pretty good, but it's not amazing. I think I'm going to take it here. My reasoning is basically that I'm going to have to, like, I could take Massive Raid, but that's not a card that I'm super interested in at this point in the draft, and basically all my other picks outside of Edict, which is similar to Massive Raid, are going to take me away from Boros. I'm okay with that. I can afford to mess around and kind of see what comes around here in the early stages, and it's not like I have to abandon Boros entirely. I'm just giving up a Massive Raid or an Angelic Edict. You know, those are a pick, but they're not super critical to the strategy or anything. All right. A little bit of a decision point here. If we do stick Boros, we've got Assault Griffin and Skinbrand Goblin, both fine. Just that's the extent of it. They're just fine. If we decide to stick with Simic, we've got a Scab Clan Charger, also just fine. Like none of these spells are particularly impressive. I'm tempted to just go with the Skinbrand Goblin here. Oh yeah. Well, you're welcome. And because it's cheaper. So I'm going to take that and kind of see where things go. All right, a little more information here. There's a Fire Fist Striker, which is a card I like a lot. Another Massive Raid as well, but those have been going very late. I'm going to take the Striker here. It's not really a close pick for me. All right, a little awkward, but I guess not super awkward. There's a Krakenura here, which would go great in this deck, but we've got 3 picks towards Boros now, and I'm just going to take another Skinbrand Goblin here. I'm going to hide the Simic Guildmage for now. I mean, you know, it pains my heart to pass a Krakenura like that, but, you know, I think one of the things that happens when you find a sweet deck is that it can get a little out of hand in your head. You start to only see those picks, and it's like, even though I value Krakenura really highly, it's just another piece of the puzzle, and it's not really surprising that it would go that late. So Active Treason or Scorchwalker. It's actually kind of a tough choice. I really like having an Active Treason. I feel like I can get either one of these later, so which one would I rather have multiples of? Well, it's pretty close, to be honest. I'll take the Scorchwalker here. All right, well, we got an Active Treason, but there's also a Burning Tree Emissary and a Pit Fight. And given what our first picks are here, I think I'm just going to take the Emissary, actually. I think Pit Fight's a better card, but look at this. All 3 of these, we can just turn 2 Emissary into those. Basically making our deck like close to mono red, which is kind of interesting. All right, so there's an Active Treason, a Shielded Passage, and a Debtor's Pulpit. I think these are all playable. Pulpit's a little slow for what we're trying to do in Boros, but it can still get the job done. So that's a thing. Active Treason, I mentioned I already want at least one of these in the deck, and it's starting to look like I might even want 2. And Shielded Passage I'll take as well, but I think I'm just going to take this because I feel like I can get the Shielded Passage later. We'll take another Scorchwalker. And here comes the Massive Raid. Let's see if we wheel the other one. I'm kind of curious about that, because I would play them. All right, there's a Skull Crack here, so we'll take that, but that's not going to make the main deck. It just doesn't do enough as a card. It's not that it's a bad card. It's just it doesn't pull its weight. I mean, look at this. Like, even a card like this, Skinbrand Goblin, We can use it on turn 2 to get into for like 4 to 6 points of damage as a creature. Yeah, it did come back. Or we can use it as a blood rush to get in 2 extra damage, or it can block or do a bunch of other things that we might want to do. If you look at Skullcrack, it gets in that 1 extra damage and doesn't have to worry as much, but like the life gain part is basically irrelevant, and this guy's upside is way higher, and he's not even a great creature. He's just fine. So yeah, Skullcrack, unfortunately, not pulling its weight. All right, what do we get? Well, we got some stuff. We've got a Watery Grave, which is what I'm going to take. I have so far stuck to my policy, although I'm starting to rethink my policy of just taking any shock lands that I ever open, because they're going to be reprinted again in the next set in Dragon's Maze. They have this special slot in the pack that usually is like a basic land, but instead it's going to be either a gate or one of these. And they're going to come up with the same rarity, but you get an extra shot to get them. So I figure that having that many more in the card pool probably will hurt their long-term value a little bit. Whatever. I'm still okay with just taking them for now. And I mean, in this pack, it doesn't even hurt us that much. There's an Arrows of Justice, an Assault Griffin, and a Skin Brand Goblin. I'd like any of those in the deck, but none of them are amazing or anything. All right, there's a Sky Knight Legionnaire, a Daring Skyjack, and an Urbis Protector. There's another Act, which we'll probably get back, but I feel like going for Sky Knight Legionnaire here, though. I got to say that Daring Skyjack certainly is on the list. Skyjack is probably less likely to wheel, as somebody that's playing Orzhov might pick it up, where the only deck that wants it is Boros. It's not worth splashing for in Gruul or anything either, so it really is just a Boros card. Yeah, I'll take the Skyjack and hope to wheel. Not, mind you, not plan on wheeling, just hope to wheel that card. All right, so we've got 2 different 5-drops here and another massive raid. We've already got 2 of those, which is arguably too many, so we're not picking any more of those over anything that we could play. So the question is, which 5-drop do we want? Well, this one looks like a rare, and it looks sweet, but it's actually just not super amazing. This one's, I think, better, and I'm going to take Night Watch here. It helps enable Battalion a lot better, and it also just tends to work with the deck better from my experience. So Legion Loyalist or Madcap skills. Yeah, let's take a Loyalist. Let's get aggro. I like, okay. I like pushing the curve down low here, and now we pick up just an absolutely premium 2-drop. We're passing another Madcap skills, but I honestly don't value those that high. I'd like to have one in the deck. I would be happy with that, but I'm certainly not picking it over a True Fire Paladin. Now, if we could wheel this, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nah, there's only going to be 1 card left, so we're not wheeling anything out of this pack, unfortunately, but we're really happy to pick up that True Fire Paladin. Not much here. A 3rd Scorchwalker. I mean, we could get super aggressive and just use these as lava axes, I suppose. Otherwise, we pick up a Boros Guildgate or look to potentially splash a Zertos Swine, though that doesn't seem likely to me. Prophetic Prism's a fine card, but, you know, we really need to be playing creatures on turn 2, so we're not doing any of that. I think I'm just going to take the Scorchwalker here. All right, we finally break off, and we'll pick up a kind of a lame Gargoyle. All right, so there is another massive raid here. Wheeling stuff left and right. There's a Boros Guildgate. And there's an Armored Transport, which is actually pretty decent in this deck. I'm going to take the Transport here. Yeah, we don't have any 3-drop creatures, and we're just going to do that. Assault Griffin I like. This seems like an easy pick for me. We can cut down on these a little bit. And here's the Act of Treason. And yeah, so we're not going to get back that Sky Knight, which I'm not surprised by, but would have been nice. None of these are really playable. This is the only one that might make the cut in our deck. This one's a little annoying. All right, that's sweet. This wasn't that pack though, right? Did I count wrong? Oh, maybe I counted wrong. I hope I did. Well, either way, I'm glad to have that because we are very likely to play this now. We need to fill out our creatures down here, but we've got a whole pack to do it, so it's pretty good. This is like the worst pack I've ever seen for us. Wow, we just bricked like the hardest you possibly could. There's just nothing. There's really only 2 cards in our colors, period. And this one's completely unplayable, and this one's fine, but I don't know that we really need a 6-drop. I'm going to take it because maybe we do end up needing a 6-drop, but this is horrible. What a dismal pack. Super sad face. All right, this is a little better. There's another Wojak Halberdiers here. Nothing else that we'd really want to run in the deck, so, I guess if we wheel this, maybe we could consider it, but I think we have better 4-drops. All right, a Smite, a Mugging, and a Guardian. I really like Guardian. I like it more than most people, but yeah, we're not going to pass a Mugging here. So we're taking Mugging and hoping to wheel one of those 2, though it doesn't seem highly likely, I'll say. All right, so this is a great choice. Madcap Skills or Daring Skyjack. I'm taking Skyjack here. Like I said, Madcap Skills is okay. It can steal games for sure, but oftentimes you just want more 2-drops. They'll do more damage in the long run, and they're much less risky. I'm going to take Martial Glory here over the second Righteous Charge. I definitely want Combat Tricks in this deck with all these 2-drops. It's just one of those things where like you can just start chaining together Combat Tricks and just keep your opponent off balance long enough to kill them very quickly. This is going to be really good with the Skyjacks as well and the Halberdiers. Yeah, I really wish we had that Sky Knight, but I still think I like having the Skyjacks here in the 2-drop slot a little bit better. Legion Loyalist also works well with Scorchwalker, which is kind of awesome. I'm going to go ahead and cut this because I don't think we're going to run it. I'm going to cut this too because I don't think we're going to run that. I think we're going to cut one Scorchwalker, but this version of Magic Online doesn't allow you to hide just one thing. So, all right, well, you know the drill. 2-drops for life, I guess. It really does seem awesome, and this guy seems cool. If we can go like, there's quite a few different starts we can have that are pretty sweet. I mean, it doesn't work with these ones, but it works with any one of these 4 2-drops, or we can wait a turn and play it and then like Active Treason and get it hidden or something. I think it's going to be good. All right, there's a Foundry Street Denizen, and there's also an Armored Transport. This is interesting because I don't like this card very much, but it actually looks pretty sweet in our deck. Look, all of our 2s, with the exception of these 2 Skyjacks, are red. Certainly enables Battalion to start getting these guys in, but so does Armored Transport, and we only have 1 creature at the 3-drop slot. We've already got a 1-drop as well. Yeah, I'm going to take the Transport here. I think if I didn't have the Loyalist, I might consider the Foundry Street Denizen a little bit more, but I've never been really impressed by the card. I think it's just okay. And I don't want to have 2 1/1s for 1 in our deck. Like, if you draw both of them, like, it's pretty bad for you. You really need some help because they put up any reasonable creature, something with 3 or 4 toughness, and like you're not getting through that. You might get in some damage before that point, but yeah. Oh man. I've bashed this card pretty hard, and I'm not a big fan of it, but I gotta say, this might be the deck for it here. I'm definitely going to take it here over the second Night Watch, and we're going to take a look and see if this is the kind of deck that it wants. All right, here's our wheel. And we got nothing. And there's just still nothing here. Yeah, this pack is just the worst. Not much. I'm going to cut this Strider. Yeah, none of these really do anything either. I guess I'll take this one. Don't think that's going to make the cut. I don't think this guy is either, but I guess there's always that chance. All right, so we've got plenty of playables here, and we just need to kind of figure out what it is this deck does exactly, and then we'll have a good run at it here. Yeah, this deck looks sweet. 19 creatures. We can actually run these massive raids and have them do things. All right, let's see what we've built here. What have we wrought? So, yeah, you're in. Oh, yeah, this guy, too. I forgot about him. I like Active Treasons in this deck, and I'm definitely going to consider this Goblin in this deck. This could be the one. Don't think I want any of those. I do want these. Yeah, I think so. And then I want all the double colored ones. And I do want the Burning Tree Emissary here, I think. And then these transports. All right, so that puts us at 24 without the Goblin. This is very interesting. Because normally that Goblin can really screw you. Basically, he just can make it so that your guys just crash in and die every turn. But we've got some really interesting stuff here with the Daring Skyjacks and a Fire Fist Striker plus armored transports. Plus, if we have 2 active treasons, we can like second main phase this. And then the next turn, like, steal their guy, hit him for a bunch, steal their guy, hit him for a bunch, or, kill their guy, hit him for a bunch. Like, we've got some interesting options with this. This is also, so we have 16 creatures, but we've actually got 17, creature spells, so to speak. And even these active treasons kind of feel like a creature because you make a dude. So this is what our deck looks like. We need to make one cut from here, which shouldn't be tough. There's a bunch of stuff that we can, like I can cut one of the Axe or one of the Scorchwalkers like this. This would be fine. So the question is, do we want this Hellraiser Goblin in here? How good is it if we go, let's just say we have a kind of a block curve where we go Skinbrand Goblin, Hellraiser Goblin. I mean, that's just not very good. Like, making both of those 2 creatures attack into whatever they play on turn 3 or turn 4, depending on if we're on the player on the draw, is not very exciting. They easily can block and have profitable blocks. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave him in the board for now. And I'm going to see what we're up against. Because if we're up against, like, let's say Orzhov, then I think he comes in. Because they have, like, a bunch of not very high power and, like, 1/4s and 1/2s and 3/2s and stuff like that. Low toughness guys or high toughness, low power guys that we can get. We can just overwhelm them. But against like a deck like Simic or like even a Gruul, like a green based deck, he can be like he can make us lose games we would have normally won. And that's pretty unacceptable. So I think this looks pretty good. 2 massive raids is a little iffy, but I don't think we're going to need too much punch. We can get stuff out of the way pretty easily, and this can even just be a finisher if the board stalls. So yeah, let's do this. 10-2-5, Amodo, no sir. All right, I think this is going to be a 9-8. We have to have early red. We do have this, which is double red in our deck, which is a little awkward. But it's only 1 card, and we have another double red here. We only need really 1 white. I mean, the Righteous Charge isn't a turn 3 play anyway. I think we can actually go 10-7 here. That guarantees all of these and having extra red mana to do things like this, and have like an extra red to do this, plus this costs double red. Yeah, I think I can do that. Yeah. All right, let's submit this and let's see what it can do.